top 50 richest Filipinos according to Forbes Philippines 2022. Yan ang tatalakayin natin sa video na ito. Ako nga pala si Engineer Morgan Sai ng Ilocano Defenders.
Ilocano Defenders. Para sa lahat. Ilocano Defenders.
So without further ado, let's go to the list. Number 50 is Benedicto and Teresita Yuhuico with a net worth of $185 million coming from real estate. Number 49 is Philip Ang with a net worth of $190 million coming from mining. Number 48 is Frederick D with a net worth of $220 million coming from banking. Number 47 is Wilfred Stephen Uytengsu Jr. with a net worth of $230 million coming from milk industry. Number 46 is Tomas Alcantara with a net worth of $240 million coming from a diversified source. Number 45 is Oscar Lopez with a net worth of $245 million coming from media. Number 44 is Mariano Martinez Jr. with a net worth of $250 million coming from real estate. Number 43 is Jose Antonio with a net worth of $270 million coming from real estate. Coming in at number 42 is Alfredo Yao with a net worth of $280 million coming from soft drinks. Number 41 is Keng Sun and Peter Mar with a net worth of $310 million coming from food manufacturing. Number 40 is Ed Garcia II with a net worth of $330 million coming from fast food. Number 39, Sylvia C. Wenceslao with a net worth of $340 million with a net coming from the industry of real estate. Number 38 is Carlos Chan with a net worth of $350 million coming from foods industry. Number 37 is Felipe Gozon with a net worth of $355 million coming from the media industry. Number 36 is Gilberto Duavit Jr. with a net worth of $360 million coming from media. Mariano Tan comes in at number 35 with a net worth of $375 million coming from pharmaceuticals. Number 34 is Menardo Jimenez with a net worth of $380 million coming from media. Number 33 is Robert Coyuto Jr. with a net worth of $420 million coming from power industry. Number 32 is Manuel Zamora Jr. with a net worth of $430 million coming from mining industry. Number 31 is the Yap Family, which has a net worth of $440 million coming from banking. Number 30 is Eusebio Tanco with a net worth of $450 million coming from ports and education industry. Number 29 is Jacinto Nang with a net worth of $490 million coming from biscuits and banking industry. Number 28 is Luis Yu Jr. with a net worth of $545 million coming from the real estate industry. Number 27 is Henry Soesanto with a net worth of $625 million coming from the foods industry. Number 26 is Dean Lau with a net worth of $710 million coming from the food ingredients industry. Number 25 are the Campos siblings with a net worth of $780 million coming from the pharma industry. Number 24 is Dennis Uy with a net worth of $810 million coming from the oil industry. Number 23 is Roberto Ongpin with a net worth of $830 million coming from a diversified sources of industry. Number 22 is Inigo Zabel with a $930 million net worth coming from a diversified sources of industry. Number 21 is Soledad Open Coangco with a net worth of $985 million coming from food and drinks industry. Number 20 is Betty Ang with a net worth of 1.05 billion US dollars with coming from the foods industry. Number 19 is Mercedes Goshanun with a net worth of 1.09 billion US dollars coming from the real estate industry. Number 18 is Vivian K. Ascona and siblings with a net worth of 1.1 billion US dollars coming from the drugstores industry. Number 17 is William Bello with a net worth of 1.15 billion US dollars coming from the home improvement stores industry. Number 16 is the Po family with a net worth of 1.2 billion US dollars coming from canned foods industry. Number 15 is Hartono Cui Fanus with a net worth of 1.5 billion US dollars coming from food manufacturing industry. Number 14 is Lucio and Susan Co with a net worth of 1.7 billion US dollars coming from the retail industry. Number 13 is Dennis Anthony and Maria Grace Uy with a net worth of 1.75 billion US dollars coming from the telecommunications industry. Number 12 is the T siblings with a net worth of 1.9 billion US dollars coming from the banking industry. Number 11 is Lucio Tan with a net worth of 2 billion US dollars coming from a diversified source of industry. Number 10 is Andrew Tan with a net worth of 2.4 billion US dollars coming from a diversified sources of industry. Number 9 is Ramon Ang with a net worth of 2.45 billion US dollars coming from a diversified source of industry. Number 8 is Jaime Zabel de Ayala with a net worth of 2.55 billion US dollars coming from a diversified source of industry. Number 7, Tony Tan Kak Tiong with a net worth of 2.6 billion US dollars coming from the food industry. Number 6 is Isidro Consunhi and siblings with a net worth of 2.65 billion US dollars coming from the construction industry. Number 5 is the Aboitis family with a net worth of 2.9 billion US dollars coming from a diversified source of industry. Number 4 is Lance Gokongwei and siblings with a net worth of 3.1 billion US dollars coming from a diversified sources of industry. Number 3 is Enrique Razon Jr. with a net worth of 5.6 billion US dollars coming from the ports industry. Number 2 is Manuel Villar with a net worth of 7.8 billion US dollars coming from the real estate industry. And number 1 are the C siblings with a net worth of 12.6 billion US dollars coming from a diversified source of industry. So that is the top 50 richest Filipinos that we tackled today. Maraming salamat po.
Ilocano defenders, para sa lahat. Ilocano defenders, laban sa lahat. Ilocano defenders, Ilocano defenders.